Hi guys, and welcome back into the kitchen. Today I've got another kind of batch make recipe for you that we can use to make lots of different things from. So it's a veggie bolognese sauce, packed with loads of vegetables, and it's got really great flavor to this. But this is one of these things that you can make. You can just serve it on its own with some pasta, spaghetti, or whatever shape you kind of want to do. But you can turn this then into lots of different things. So I'm going to show you the basic recipe first, and then the next few videos I'm going to show you how to turn it and just to make some different recipes from it. So we'll start with the basic recipe. I've got a big frying pan. I've got that over a medium-low heat, and I'm heating that up. So I've got 25 grams of olive oil or vegetable oil, whatever you kind of want to use. Get all that in there, and let's get that heated up, and then I'll run you through all of our veggies. So it's up to you, and it depends on who you're cooking for. Obviously, you know, guys, I cook for Tylen. He doesn't like kind of lots of big chunks and lumps, so I tend to grate a lot of these vegetables. But if you're somebody that's older on a low protein diet, you can just chop these up. You can do it as big as small as you kind of want to do. So let me run you through. I've got 100 grams of grated carrot. I've got 100 grams of grated parsnip and 100 grams of grated courgette. I've then got 2 peppers, which I've just chopped small pieces, small dice. Same again with the red onion. I've got that finely sliced as well. If you want to grate all of these, you can just put them in a food processor and grate them. I just grate them by hand. It's quite quick. I've also got 100 grams of jackfruit. And again, I've just cut that into bite-sized pieces. The smaller the pieces, the quicker this will cook. So if you're going to do a more chunky sauce, it's going to take a little bit longer. I've then got 200 grams of grated chestnut mushrooms. I like chestnut mushrooms because I think they've got a little bit more taste to them. And then we've got some seasonings and some other bits which we'll go through as we go along. So just to start this off, I'm going to add in the jackfruit. I'm going to add the onion and pepper, just because they're in bite-sized pieces, so we kind of want to start them off cooking straight away. That's got our peppers in there. I've got a red and a green one, but again, you can go with any colour that you can find. And then I'll just add the grated vegetables when we just give this a little stir and a cook through. So toss them in the oil, give them a good coating, and then we can fry them. The one thing I forgot is my salt, because if you put salt on onions as you're frying them, they won't brown. They'll release their water, and it'll stop them going too brown in the pan. So that's a little tip to start with. This smells great. This recipe you can batch make. You can double, triple the recipe, and I normally do, because then I kind of make different things, put it in the freezer, and then now I'm kind of ready to kind of deal with anything. If Ty just rocks up, I've got a meal, I can take it out and I can cook it for him. Let's add in our grated vegetables. So we're going to add in our courgettes, our carrots, and our parsnips. And this is my recipe, but again, you can just add whatever you kind of want to add to this. You can do any vegetables. Aubergines are really good in this. You can do baby sweet corn. I chose these kind of vegetables because they're all exchange free, and Ty's exchanges are kind of up and down at the minute. So sometimes he's on 3, and then sometimes he's on 5, but then now he's suddenly gone down and he's on no exchanges for 2 weeks. So by making this, I can add in an exchange if I need it at the time when I'm kind of reheating it. Spinach is great for an exchange in this. Sweet corn, peas. Again, just sweat all them down. and then I'll run you through the other ingredients. So I've got 250 grams of the mushrooms. Again, use white mushrooms, chestnut mushrooms, portobello mushrooms, whatever you want to do. Just kind of gets a lot of flavour if they are a nicer mushroom to begin with. And then I've got 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. I've got 1 vegetable stock cube. I've got 2 teaspoons of dried herbs. I'm using basil, but you can use oregano, you can use Italian mixed herbs, herb de Provence, whatever you kind of want to use. And I've got 2 teaspoons of garlic puree as well. And then for my liquid, I've got a large can of chopped tomatoes, and I've got 200 mils of low protein drink. You can use Snowpro. In Bologna in Italy, they add milk to tomato sauces to kind of make it creamy. And sometimes tomatoes can be a little bit acidic. So by adding the milk, it kind of counterbalances that. And it's just different than vegetable stock. But you can, if you don't have this, you can just add some water in there as well. So they're frying off nicely. So I'm going to add in my mushrooms. Again, giving them a little stir around. Because the vegetables are grated, they just don't take long at all to cook. All we're really doing is sweating them down. So that's all the veggies sweated. It smells amazing. And I'm going to go in with our mix. So the thing when you use tomato puree is you really want to cook this out for as long as you can, really, just a few minutes. The longer you cook it out, the better the flavour. Because again, it's tomatoes that can be a little bit acidic. You can counterbalance that if it is once you've tasted it and you're seasoning it at the end. You can always add a little pinch of sugar, and then that will help balance it. Again, just stir that through, frying off that tomato puree. And then we will add our liquid. So that looks great. And we fried off that tomato puree. So let's go in with our chopped tomatoes. And then we're going to add our low protein drink. That's 200 mils. Again, give that a good stir, and then you can turn the heat down, and we're just going to simmer that for about 10-15 minutes, just until everything's married together, and it'll become nice and thick. All the vegetables will cook. So I'm going to turn that on a low light. You can put a lid on this if you need to, but it'll just blip away quite nicely. Again, we're going to do this as a classic Bolognese. So I'm going to cook some of our low protein pasta, spaghetti, and then I'm going to serve that. So let's cook that. I'll put some spaghetti on, and then you can see what it looks like when it's all cooked. So guys, the veggie bolognese has been bubbling and simmering away. All the vegetables are cooked. At this stage, just give it a little taste, just because you want to check on the seasoning. We've added a little bit of salt at the beginning to stop the onions browning. But it definitely needs some black pepper and just a little sprinkling of salt. All the veg is now cooked, so the onions, the jackfruit, and the peppers are soft and tender. Let's add that. Let's add a little sprinkling of salt, not too much, just to taste. Give that a stir, and then we can turn that off. So while we've been off, I've cooked some low profile spaghetti, which I'm going to pile onto our bowl. And let's top it with a portion of our vegetable bolognese. There we go. And then I'm going to just sprinkle over just a little bit of low profile cheese. Go with whatever you kind of like. This is mature cheddar, but the feta Mediterranean is really nice. So is mozzarella, because that kind of oozes and melts in there. So there you've got your vegetable bolognese and your spaghetti, classic recipe. The next few recipes, I'm going to show you how to turn this then into some other great dishes, some classic, some with a bit of a twist. Remember, at this time, you can cool this down. You can always portion it up. I like using the foil containers, let it go to room temperature, pop it in the fridge till it's cold, and then put them in the freezer. You can write on the top then what you've got. A great batch make one. If you've got this in the freezer, you're never kind of 2 minutes away from a really great high veg, high fiber, low protein meal. Try this one, enjoy it. It smells amazing. As always, all the recipes are on Low Protein Connect. If you need any help from me or any tips, drop a comment in the box and we'll get back to you. But if not, I'll see you next time for some more veggie bolognese recipes. See you later. Bye.